There we go. So, over the weekend, I was thinking about SMART goals more. I don't know if you guys saw on WhatsApp, but we broke down a little bit of everybody's goals and actually tried to apply it properly for a SMART goal. So, hopefully, you guys saw that. Was everybody
Yes.
able to see that on WhatsApp?
Yes, and I completed my SMART goal.
Did you like your special one, Gary?
I did, yeah, and I completed it. So
Right on. Yeah, cool. Um, a little motivational stuff. I get a lot out of the Hormozis. I keep talking about them. But I was watching this thing from Lael, I think her name is. I'm gonna play it here in a minute, a few minutes of it. But she's talking about, just a lot of levers for success and coaching, how to go faster, what she's done in her life. A few of the things were stop quitting, which I'm gonna let her explain on this herself here in a minute. And another big one that hit home was stop seeking approval. And I noticed that how many naysayers there are with everything I've done. And I think we often we're seeking approval from friends or family or people that are close to us that they don't have the life that they want, but we're used to taking advice from these people. And this is if you're waiting for approval from somebody else, you're basically asking them for permission for you to go do what you want to do. And I noticed that most of like the people that I've tried to get approval from, they're naysayers against what I'm doing because they're not successful in where I want to be. So it comes back to surrounding yourself with education and people giving you advice who are actually in a spot like Phil and Shanoa. And I've loved since we met Big Dogs how many people we've been able to surround ourselves with to where it kind of resets your standard to where, if you want to be successful and make $1 million a year and you're around everybody who's making $1 million a year, your brain's gonna like figure out a way to reset that standard and live up to those other people your peers are around. And stop listening to broke people was another good advice. So I'm going to just play a few minutes of her. I copied the link. I don't know if everybody can see it up here, but it's in the chat. So if you guys want to hear more about her, I like this girl. But here we go.
I used to think
Oop,
that I need
forgot to share. Sorry. Here we go.
a better job or a better opportunity to get ahead. But I was wrong. I went from broke at 22 to selling 3 of my companies by the age of 29 after I quit doing these 5 things. So if you want to build real wealth, start by cutting these habits immediately. The number one habit that you've got to cut to build wealth is you have to start quitting. Every time something gets hard and you start over, that's exactly why you don't have any money and that's why you don't get anywhere. Quitting keeps you poor. It keeps you poor in terms of wealth. It also keeps you poor in terms of confidence. Discipline is what's going to make you rich. So if you really think about it, the fastest way that you succeed at nothing is that the moment it gets uncomfortable, you jump ship and you chase the next shiny thing. This can be business, this can be fitness, this can be relationships. It all works the same way. It's kind of like the person who wants to get in shape. And so they do Orange Theory. And then 1 month they're like, oh, you know what? Orange Theory didn't work for me. I'm going to go do CrossFit. And then they go do that for 3 months. And they say, oh, you know what? CrossFit didn't work. I have to do yoga. And I'm like, dude, nothing works for you because you don't work. The thing is that you just keep popping from one thing to another to another. And so you never actually get the reward of the thing that you're in. And the same goes for business and making money. And I think that this is probably the most relevant one for me is that people think that they always need to start something new, a new venture, a new side hustle, a new job, rather than fix the one they're in. It's not that you don't have opportunity, it's that you don't have the skill of seeing the opportunity. And that's because you don't have the skill to get to the next level in the current vehicle. So then you say, I need a new vehicle, right? The reality is that the people that win, the people that actually are able to make a lot of money and build real wealth, they're the people who keep going when it's boring and when it's painful and when it's unclear. And they just say, I have to find a way forward. So if you find yourself popping from thing to thing to thing, from side hustle to this to that, you're the kind of person who goes on YouTube and you say like 5 jobs that will make me rich. That's the problem. The problem is that you're on YouTube asking how to get rich rather than figuring out how to do it in the current vehicle you're in. Discipline will make you rich. Quitting is what keeps you poor. Having the discipline to say, I can maximize the opportunity I have at hand. I just need to work on my skills. So an example of this is like every business has what I call a valley of death. And most people die there because they pivot too soon, not because they're in the valley of death. Because when you start a business, essentially it's like uninformed optimism and you're really excited. It's really amazing. It could be a business. It could be a side hustle. This could be a job. And you're like, this is going to be so much easier than the last thing. I'm actually going to be able to make money this time. Right? I can actually make this sale. I can actually make this side hustle work. I can actually figure this one out. And then eventually, right after you get off that point, you go into informed pessimism. And that is what I call the valley of death. And this is where a lot of people think, wow, this is so much harder than I thought. I don't think this is the right opportunity. I just don't think there's a good market for it. There's too competitive, it's too whatever. Excuses. You start thinking, I should be doing something easier. Essentially, you encounter resistance and you say, fuck it, I'm out. And you want to go do something else. And that habit and those thoughts is what keeps so many people stuck in this valley. And it's why so many people aren't able to accumulate real wealth because they think, oh gosh, it's hard, so I should do something else. That's really what you're saying. And the thing is that you don't need a new business. You don't need a new side hustle. You don't need a new job. You need to stop trying new things every time the current one gets hard. And this is because they lack frustration tolerance. And that is what gets you through the hard part into reaping the rewards of everything that you've put in front of you. If you don't tolerate frustration, negative feelings, discomfort, upsetness well, then you have a low frustration tolerance. In other words, you don't do well being frustrated for a long period of time. What's allowed me to accumulate a lot of wealth in my life and a lot of happiness, and a lot of things I really love in my life is developing a high frustration tolerance, which means I can tolerate a lot of hard, frustrating things. I'm good at being frustrated. And I like that about myself because that means that I can make the most things work. People ask me, well, do you think this is the best opportunity that I'm in? It's constantly a question I get from entrepreneurs. Do you think this is the best opportunity for me? I'm like, I think that the skill of making the most of any opportunity is a better skill than picking the opportunity. Because inevitably, within 12 months, there will be a better opportunity. So should you jump ship every 12 months to a new one, you're never going to be able to maximize one you're in. And so you want to be the type of person that can make anything work. You can make marriage work. You can make this long distance relationship work. You can make this laundromat work. You can make this media business work. Be the type of person who can make it work. Oftentimes what happens is you don't fail because your idea sucks. You fail because you haven't stuck with any idea long enough to see the pitfalls, to see where it works, see where it doesn't work, to see how to iterate, and to see all of these things out into success. And that is the number one reason why people don't build wealth and why they.
That's really powerful.
I got a lot out of that.
Yeah, you got to share that link. You said you'd shared it. I need to share it with Mara because that's kind of something we talk about a lot as far as not finishing like getting all the way through. I mean, this is certainly one of those like it's hard and there's a lot of competition out there. I mean, every single one of us is competing for that same person. But I don't see that's a bad thing in this case because there's so many out there. I mean, if we're all going for foreclosures, especially, I mean, 1,000 plus. It's just getting that one that there's plenty of leads out there. It's just finding that one person to talk to you, one or two or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I think not everything was applicable, but there was so much of that hit home with what we're trying to do right now. And some of the negative feelings I've had where it gets frustrating. I'm like, oh, I could just go back to work and be a pilot. And then I'm like, fuck that. That's not why I started this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of headspace, right? It's getting out of your own way. I mean, that's one of the things we talk about, making sure we, kind of pushing through for sure the hard stuff, but it's a mind shift. You got to change the way you're thinking about what you're doing. You're not working for someone anymore, right? You're working for yourself. And what's the future? I mean, there's so many things you can go into. I mean, go on and on.
What keeps me going is some of this kind of motivational material, but telling myself I'm willing to work harder and do what other people aren't willing to do. And I tell Jen that, like, look at what we're doing right now. None of our friends are out here doing this, except
Right.
you guys. Our new friends are, right?
Right.
But breaking out of this W-2 is it's a lot of work and it can be discouraging too. However, I pride myself on taking action, working hard, and doing other things that people aren't willing to do. I've been like that for a long time. So part of my way to get myself to act and bring some accountability back here is every single week looking again. I keep talking about 80-20 and looking at the splits. What are the most important things I need to do? And this week is just we have enough leads. We need to nurture them better. And I'm gonna try to stick with the daily 100, which I got from that couple, Alex and Lael Hormozy, and they say 100 minutes of marketing every single day is what they're doing. I've tried to hit this before, but I've actually broken it out into, okay, this week for my SMART goal, which fits one sentence, I'm gonna 50/50 those 100 minutes between mobile home parks and foreclosures. So I'm do 100 minutes every single day of marketing to foreclosures and mobile home parks personally, daily, today through Friday. So one of the best things we've done for our deal flow here is consistency with cold calls. Once we started hitting those, then the phone started ringing. But I'm trying to add in more consistency on my part personally, and that's how I'm going to get there. So it's specific, 100 minutes a day. Thumbs up.
Measurable.
It's measurable. It's definitely attainable for me this week, and
Relevant.
it's relevant to real estate and our
Reachable.
business, and it's time bound daily and by the end of the week. And it fits in one sentence, kind of.
Yeah, it does.
But that's what I got for today. If you guys want to run through how your week went, we had a successful week last week too, but I got pretty sick, so it took me out for a day and a half. We still made shit happen. We had a good week.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to talk about their week? The good or the bad?
You know, we could also Phyllis, if
I,
you
I can jump in. I was just giving folks a chance. I can talk about
My
our week.
dogs are
So we had
barking.
go for it.
Yeah, sure. So last week, one of my goals was to get started with our postcard campaign and starting to get activity with that. And so we sent out just under 500. So I'm sending kind of two sets. So anything for August, it's getting like a red letter more or less. So it's on the outside. I mean, basically the color of it's red and it's got information. It's like just talking about options. And so red being, it's under 30 days and it's kind of what the message says. And I've done it all through Print Genie. So it's been pretty amazing. That part was fun getting it set up. But so we actually got a contact from it.
Nice.
They reached out, I guess it was Saturday while we're sitting there watching, at the end of the day, sitting there watching a show. And they reached back out and it's like, someone that, I guess it might be in probate. It's going to require some follow-up, but it was just amazing. It's like you get one response out of 100, you're doing good. So there's
Yeah.
that, which was amazing. So that part of the marketing's going well. Um, we've gotten a lot more a lot more context from just different folks scheduling meetings, and which has been great. We're trying to figure out what that's coming from. So like, what did we tweak to make it more, a little bit more activity? But it's coming across from the substitute trustees. Some of them are from, just our regular outreach and cold calling, and they're responding back. And so, yeah, just getting good responses, and just we had I think 6 meetings, 6 calls. They're at different phases, different levels. We're still trying to work through some of the details. They may or may not be a deal, but the fact that we were getting responses that we hadn't really gotten in 3 months or a month even.
So that
So
was 500 mailers. You sent out 500 mailers.
yeah, it was 380 of one and 111. So like I said, two sets. So the 380 is all for August.
That's awesome.
Excuse me. And then what I'm doing is I have folks that are from September or on a substitute trustee. They're gonna, like, basically I'm responding if we're reaching out. So we're cold calling an SMS, and if they send a response like off, or it's the wrong number or something like that, boom, we're going to send them a postcard to the property. And so they'll get I'm giving strategies, but it's basically a green, yellow, red postcard. And so they'll get a green one if they're more than 30 days, and then in 15 days we'll send a yellow, and then under 30 days they'll get a red one, just kind of reminding them, hey,
That's
we're here
cool.
for you. And they all say different little messages like, hey, we can help you. They're all different, so it's not the same thing over and over, and just a different color. Obviously it has our branding and information to get in touch with us, which like I said, it worked. And the guy that we're working with in Print Genie, he's a master at direct mailers, and he goes anything more than one over for 100 send outs, he goes, you're doing good. So we'll keep at it.
Great, man. That's
Yeah,
great.
that's pretty awesome. And then we started as far as that kind of or as far as the attainable goals. So we started watching. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jeremy Miner. He's been, I think,
Yeah, voice
on some of the
inflection, dude.
the voice
Yeah.
inflection. So I'm not a sales guy. I've never been a sales guy. I've always been on support and services side. So it's a big mind shift for me to change how I talk to folks and how I engage them and how to immediately like that first 10 to 15 seconds when you talk to someone, right? You're gonna change the way you're speaking to them and yeah, like you said, voice inflection. So we got some training on that, or some videos and stuff like that we're gonna watch and some additional training. So just kind of expanding, my experience in that. So,
Did you sign up for his program, Frank?
I downloaded. So basically, I signed up for something. There's like 3 different programs that I purchased. I guess. I mean, it's really just videos and like that book that he's got.
Yeah.
So it's I'm not sure how many different videos there are. I started watching them the other day, but didn't get through it. But so it's like the cold calling one. There's one where like they're ghosting you, and there's another one that I haven't even paid attention to.
So
So
I did sign up for his program. That's why I was asking.
yeah.
Yeah, when you sign up, there's a lot more than that. I mean, you get kind of the same deal. Accountability calls, personal coaching,
Oh,
um,
that okay.
weekly, and then yeah, and there's a ton of videos, and then you get access to his network also, which they actually have trained salesmen you could hire if you. I haven't gotten that far yet,
Yeah.
but they've got people trained in that whatever NEPQ technique, and
Right.
yeah, you could hire guys on commission base that are already trained in it. So it's an interesting little network. It's a little pricey, but I mean
Yeah.
everything.
I'm not
Right.
looking to spend anything else on marketing from that perspective. I think it's just for me to learn it. That's really what
Yeah.
my reasoning was around it. So
This is my weakness. So this is I kind of need this.
yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like talking to people in
Gary,
general. Yeah.
I'm kind of there too, because I said that like the way we can kind of relate. She's a better opener when we're talking to people. I get hung up on cold calling if she doesn't. And
Yeah.
it's because I feel like my career, I've been stuck in a box reading real estate next to a guy I hardly talk to, and she's approaching everybody in the back the whole time.
Yeah, for me it's tough because I'm pretty straightforward and just to the point, and it's like
Yeah.
like I get mad at my wife when she buys stuff off the end aisles at the grocery market. I'm like, you didn't go in there to pay for that. I'm like, they're doing this to manipulate you, and it's like all that stuff. And I'm just so against it all. But I mean, that's what people respond to. That's how they work, and it's
Yeah.
like you got to kind of play this game in order to get them to kind of open up and talk to you. It's like why can't they just have a real conversation? And at the end of the day, I don't think people really want to. they
There's
want to they want to be
that
sold
Chase
the bill of goods.
Hughes, that Chase Hughes episode I've mentioned a few times. That's
Yeah,
Rosie's gotten coaching from Chase Hughes, but he's on Joe Rogan, and it's somewhere in the first 45 minutes or so.
I'll have to
He
watch
talks
that episode.
about like, huh?
I'll have to watch that episode. I haven't seen it.
It's
Is
really
it Chase
good.
Hughes?
Yeah, really, really good. But he talks about how to like provide novelty and break down that barrier and just like throw somebody's crock brain or mammalian brain off through like some shock value almost or something but when you
Mhm.
present something new to somebody, it captures their attention and your brain's trying to figure out like on the most basic level, is this a threat or of value?
Mhm.
So if there's something new, it's trying to say, is this a value? So if you can throw that into somebody's face over a cold call and like get them to respond, maybe open-ended questions and stuff like that, that's been helping me. But that I got a ton out of that. And that guy is so freaking smart. He's like one of the top human behavior experts in the world. He teaches the army
Mhm.
how to do psychological operations, how to brainwash people, create
Mhm.
identities, hypnotize.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I like that. Gotta try that.
How to brainwash people. That sounds.
I mean, he talks about how
Yeah.
the military's figured out, within 45 minutes, talk somebody into murder. You just,
Really?
yeah, it's not that hard to do if you know what you're doing. It's crazy. So if you
Wow.
have some of these techniques in front of sellers, you know, and especially if you practice, you're good at it, you're just gonna destroy them. They won't even know it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a goal. I mean, for me, it's like learning some of the tricks, like you're saying, and yeah, the cold call. I'm too direct at times. I guess most of the time. So just too direct. And when I would get on the phone, so Mary does most of the calling. But I mean, it's something that I still got to get better at, so that we can not just be, kind of single focused.
So do you have a SMART goal for the week?
I get to do that video or videos, yeah, on the cold call training
The
or
Jeremy.
Jeremy Miner. Yeah, Jeremy Miner.
All right.
Well,
Smart.
mine's kind of different. I don't have trouble talking to people and sales is natural, but what I am running into is I've been able to get like a contract a week for a while, but I haven't been able to dispo any of them. So my SMART goal this week is to try to build relationships with the end buyers more, to have a goal of getting 10 buy box from different people. And that's where my stuck is as well, because it says if you get a good deal, someone will be out there. That's a lie. I've got like two 68-cent deals and I cannot dispo them at all. And I even partnered with Fazio this last time, and he texted me last night and asked for me to ask the seller for an extension on our option period and so it's just like I don't know how to get to those end buyers without losing 50% of my revenue. That's my biggest thing. But at this time I was willing to gamble it and they still can't produce. So any advice, I'm looking for guidance here on how to get those. How can I do it? Someone said to just look on Facebook and reach out to them and ask for their buy box, from different platforms that I'm in, that aren't necessarily big dogs, because I've posted everything on there and haven't got any luck. So anyone else feeling that, or is it just me?
Oh, yeah, we are. We're dealing with that right now.
We're considering investor lift, but we're getting some hits off just advertising on Facebook on the different, like DFW sub 2 and those, but it's not super easy.
Yeah, I even got actually just talking about it. I was at a farmer's market and this lady's like, "Oh, I'm getting a divorce. I'm looking for a house." And I was like, "Well, I have a house." She's like, "Oh, I'm interested." So, yeah. Well, she's still there. I just need to push it. So it's figuring
Yeah.
out things
I
actually.
thought about going with Investor Lift or Investor Base. Investor Base seems like they're more qualified, their leads are. But again, it's $250 a month. If there's a way that we could, collaborate maybe when we get to that point. Or if there's someone who could just say, "Hey, I just need a list for this area," because I have one in Austin, one in Corpus, and those aren't areas. I'm moving towards Tarrant County more, but it's like I don't know. I'm getting very frustrated. So that video was very fitting. It's not that I'm quitting, it's going to work harder and see what I can do.
Yeah, get good at being frustrated, right?
But I guess 250 is a lot better than splitting like 25,000 or something,
Yeah. We could use that right now this week. So if you want to split something, talk to
Well,
us.
I'm thinking about it. I was kind of looking for someone who might run me a list one time in one market for one use, just to see if if it's worth it, because all these other things are like, "Oh, do this and do this." No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hang on, Amy, we're running a little past, but Josie's got to go for a W-2. Can you just jump in and give us a little something before you go, Josie?
I think we are working with this gentleman and he's doing some cold calling for us. So we just need to follow up with him this week. I'm not sure what Kyle has given him as a goal as far as number of calls, but I know he's been doing like 2 days a week cold calling for us. So
We have another cold caller starting to get success that we've been training. She's already a cold caller, but we're doing like the big dog training I mentioned to Kyle. So if you want to test somebody out, she's got time spots every single afternoon. So
okay. Yeah, I'll let Kyle know about that and
Alright,
see
cool.
if we want to try that too. Just double
You
up.
can do like a cheap trial basis. There's no, you don't have to commit to anything.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks all.
You're welcome. Have a great week.
Bye, Josie.
Bye.
Bye.
If everybody else has time, then we can keep rolling.
Yeah, I want Amy, are you not interested in taking any of them down yourself and fixing them up and flipping them?
I really have to stay focused. You're talking about shiny objects. Yeah, I'd love to partner with someone to flip them, but I have to build capital, and I know that because I started going down the road of rehabbing one, and I just with the market staying on so long, if my 6 months turned to 8 months, I would be in a bind right now. So if you want to rehab a house in Corpus Christi, I got a good deal for you, Gary.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of a,
Long
it's a little bit of a
drive.
drive for my guys.
Yeah. It's really cute, but it's like, oh, she said she didn't know if the end buyer would go for it. I just got the text when we were on the phone back from her from last night. But yeah, I've thought about holding them. I really, since I haven't had a job since last October, we've used a lot of our savings for me to do this venture, and I've not lost, I've invested.
Right. Right.
You haven't recouped. How's that?
I've invested a lot, and I mean, a year ago, yes, I could have taken risks and not even worried about it, but now I'm being cautious, and I talked to Mara, she's helped me out. I was like, I got to start looking for W-2 because this isn't paying off as quick as I want. So you got a job for me too? I'll be happy to do that.
Cold caller.
Cold call.
Doesn't pay very much though.
But if you guys, we're sharing the leads we got now too with this little group. So if anybody needs leads or wants to cold call with me or anything or help us nurse the leads we've got plenty coming in. Just let us know for foreclosure.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we're with the realtors, we're getting places. I mean, that program that we're investing in it's called Hey Rafi. I think I've said it on this group before, but they're starting to come in like crazy. Building those relationships is working. The consistency is paying off after a month, and we're getting a lot of referrals. And like I said, able to get a couple contracts now a week. Got 2 more that I'm about to sign right now. How about lakefront property on LBJ? Anyone interested in that? I said, I am
Is it at the
personally, I
door?
just gotta, huh?
Is the lake at the
Right
door?
now, not time to sell.
But anyway,
right.
it's just, it's exciting getting them. Okay, check, got that finally. And now it's like, so I'm looking for partners on the other end.
Cool. There's only one person left.
Was that me?
Oh, Gary. Yeah, you
Yeah.
haven't
Oh.
gone with your
Gary
smart
hadn't
list.
gone
2 of
either.
us. I'm sorry. Yeah, go for it, Gary.
Yeah, so I mean, just on that note, I mean, if anybody wants to actually flip a house, I'd be happy to partner with, and take care of the construction side of it, because that always adds value and increases the profit margin anyway. So
Yeah, I'm gonna call you on a condo we got under contract that we're getting like a Novation JV in place with them.
okay,
We have it under contract, and it needs to be. I don't know how much we're gonna do. Is the thing we want to get it sold pretty quick, but it's got some minor repairs that need to happen. So I'll call you
where's
up
it
to
at?
see. Fort Worth.
Okay, yeah, let me know. I mean, we can. It doesn't matter how small or big. I mean, if you just need to go in and clean it and throw a coat of paint on it, we can do that too.
Yeah,
Just
for sure, man. No, we got you up there. That's you're the first person that I'm gonna call.
Yeah, and I've been talking to, well, I mean, so this week's been interesting for me. I've been working on a project in South Lake. Basically, it was a house that was for sale right on Grapevine Lake in South Lake. Which if anybody's familiar with that area, it's very, very high end. So the property was 8.25 million, and the developer had gotten them under contract, and he he basically subdivided it and put a road and got some approvals, some entitlements in. So we broke it up into basically 7 1-acre lots. So 1 existing house and then 6 brand new lots with a road. And so I had approached him about having him assign us the contract. And then we went and tried to find some investors to fund it. And we had 5 groups, but it was just the timing was just way off, and they were supposed to close last Wednesday. But as it turns out, he had some struggles closing it on himself, so he got an extension for 3 weeks. So, long story short, that's still on the table, and I got an investment group I'm engaging with tomorrow about that. So hopefully we can pick up the project and still build the 6 new houses. And these are going to be $5 or $6 million homes. This is a giant project. So we can put
Nice.
the roof in first, and then, but these, yeah. So basically, what it is if we let him buy it and sell us the lots, he's going to be wanting like 1.4 million per lot. If he assigns the project to us and we take his entitlements and do the projects, we can get the lots for just under $1 million. So, I mean, an extra 400,000 per lot really improves the profit margin.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah, so that's kind of going, and then we found that house in downtown McKinney. They accept our offer. That's just going to be a little kind of tear down and rebuild, which will be nice. I'd like to hold on to it for an Airbnb. One, it's right near those wedding venues. It's with walking distance to downtown McKinney, and I mean, we kind of need a place for our family to come and visit when they come to visit us in Texas, because we really don't have room in the house anymore. My daughter's moved back here, so it'll serve multiple purposes, or I might just flip it. I mean, at some point we want to own a house down there anyway. And then what else did I got? Oh, we had another homeowner in Allen. I asked him to do asked if he was interested in doing a joint development agreement, which he's very interested in. So he's got 2 lots. I want to say it's about 8 acres a piece. So we want to move our property line to kind of shift it a little bit, and he's going to let me build a house, market and sell and build a house on one of the lots. So we'll see if we can get that going. So those are some really big leads for me. But the little stuff, and then I've been talking to Chad about starting this video series, and I think we're going to start it with basically how to choose a contractor. And we're gonna put a lot of information together and create a little video and create some clips for my page and whatever. And in that discussion, Chad and I were talking about like how to kind of like as an investor, right? Like are like a lot of investors are trying to like learn how to be contractors and investors at the same time, and I don't know that it works, because I'm getting a lot of people, hey, how much for this, how much for that, and they're trying to price out trudge, and they're trying to treating me like a subcontractor as opposed to a general contractor. And it's like, guys, I don't really do this, right? I don't like people don't. I guess the market, and Phil talked about a little bit about this as well. There's different kinds of trades. You've got kind of retail trades, and you've got sort of contractor trades. And the guys I work with only work for contractors. So like if you were to call me and ask me to, if I could help you with some plumbing or a painter or whatever, the answer to your question is yes. But if you're asking for a referral, like my guys won't work for you because they don't deal with non-contractors. It doesn't mean if you don't do a lot of investments over time and you build a relationship with them that they wouldn't work for you. They just don't, because they don't want to deal. To them, it's more like dealing with a
It's too
homeowner.
much of a risk.
Yeah, and they're all, and to be honest, they're a lot cheaper because they don't really know how to run businesses. They don't even
Yeah.
really know how to invoice. They're just good tradespeople who just basically own
They just
their.
want the hourly income
Yeah,
or
and so
whatever.
they want their pay every week, and they're really concerned about getting paid. And as a
Yeah.
contractor, when I take care of these guys, they will always come to me
Right.
when I have work. Giving them over to somebody new. Now, what that looks like, a lot of people look at that and be like, "Oh man, hey, like I don't, I can get it done cheaper if I don't pay your markup." And it's like, well, theoretically, yeah, but could you get them to do it for that price, right? And I'll give you
Right.
an example, because I just did a job 2 weeks ago. The guy had called me a couple months ago, and all of the plumbing in the house needed to be replaced. Tunnel under the house, replace all the drains. It's a big plumbing job. And so he asked me, he's like, man, he goes, is this bid good? He goes, he got a bid from a plumber for like 50 grand to do the job. And basically the conversation, I told him, I said, look, I said, I don't know exactly what the price is going to be, but it's not going to be 50 grand. So if they're willing to negotiate the 50 grand off the price of the house, do that. And then I'll kind of take care of it. And so that's what he did. And then he came back to me, and, I met my plumber my plumber ended up looking at it, and he ended up charging me about 22 grand to do the same job. And, and,
Nice.
and so even marking that up 20%, I'm still saving this guy 20 grand, you know? But like people don't really see that side of it. And if you just wanted my plumber's contact, I'm not saying he wouldn't have done it for that price for you, but he probably wouldn't have taken your call because he doesn't want to deal with the complexity of the homeowners, you know what I mean? Or
Right.
people who know what they're doing. So I think a seasoned investor, if they want to be a project manager, they can probably pull it off, but it's going to take time and a lot of projects and a lot of pain that I've already gone through building those relationships with those guys, you know? And so, and
Right.
anyway, this is a long way around to being like, you know, I'm wondering if I could kind of perform a service because I've got kind of two different ways I look at projects, right? Where if you were to hire me, like I'm going to manage the whole project. You can give me the project and you don't just, you know, give me a scope and a budget and, you know, look at it when the job's done, and you don't have to think about it the whole entire time, which means you can do more deals without the stress that I'm dealing with. But people that want to manage their own projects, assuming they kind of qualify, it's like, man, let me throw some field supervision at you. Get you a small fee. You manage the project, you handle all the financials, you pay all the trades, you do all that, but do it through my field supervisor. Now you have access to all my trades as well. I'm kind of toying with kind of adding that service for some experienced big dogs that just don't necessarily want to deal with the monotony of managing the day-to-day stuff on their own projects, but they still want to manage their own project, you know. So
Where
I'm
that could be
trying to think about what that
valuable
looks
is
like.
just the amount of info that you can bring to the table, you know, on pitfalls, and a lot of it for me was just being misinformed or uninformed, you know, from the problems we've had on this latest project. What is your actual SMART goal for the week?
Mine.
Yeah,
So I made a SMART goal, but it's for the quarter. Is that okay? Is it?
whatever works for you.
I want to
It's for
get
the what?
for the quarter, the next quarter. Sorry,
Oh, the quarter.
my accent is
Yeah, I was like, what? What?
quarter. I try to tone it down, but I can't quite shut it off all the time. It's for the quarter. Man, I want to get, you know, I've got some good leads, but I want to get 5 contracts written in the next 3 months. So, you know, that's going to translate, I guess,
For
into
what?
about talking about 10 leads a week. You know, I don't think it might take 10 leads a week, but that's kind of my goal, is 10 leads a week, having some conversations with them. And these contracts could be, you know, fix and flips, new builds, joint ventures, like I got this one landowner with, whatever it is. So just 5 contracts is what I'd like to have before the end of October.
Okay. Phyllis,
Good
do you
morning.
know everyone here? Good morning.
Well, I'm glad that that I remembered this. Actually, last night I was looking at some YouTube stuff and saw y'all's channel, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you have that meeting." And yesterday I just got off my W-2, and Jen, when you said that, I'd never heard it like that, and I love it because usually it's like, what do you say, my real job, and you know, don't want to call it my real job, but exhausted from all these floods and everything. But this right here is what I needed to kind of put some wind back in my sails, I guess, because being over here in little podunk town, you know, I'm just kind of off here by myself, and it's easy to lose focus, I guess. So coming to see y'all is gonna help out a lot too, because I just need to get out of here and get back. And I did, when I saw that last night, I did listen to part of the goals. That was y'all's last, the one that's the latest one that's up, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
And so yeah, this has been good for me.
Awesome. Do you want to give us a SMART goal for your week?
This was last night, so I mean, after tomorrow, we're still there. Jen, we're still doing tomorrow, right?
Mhm. We're gonna go to the house. Wait, no, what are we doing? forgot.
For what?
Yes.
As in come see y'all.
Yeah.
For door knocking or what?
Well, whatever. Like I
Oh, okay.
need to come and
Yeah, that should still work. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
okay. Well, I was gonna text you today and make sure because it was last week that we had talked. So if we need to reschedule it, great. I mean, you know, that's fine. But
I think it should be fine. Yeah.
okay, well just let me know.
Or we can go
Okay.
early in the
We
morning.
will let you know, but okay, so let's
Yeah.
definitely meet up. Do you have availability all week?
I go back on shift Thursday. So I'll be gone Thursday, Friday, and I picked up another one for some
Okay.
extra money.
So tomorrow or
Okay.
Tuesday, right?
So
Or Wednesday.
I'm available Tuesday and Wednesday.
Well, that works for me because I have to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Cool.
Well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
And if you want to
Same.
try to
Mhm.
cold call with me today, I think I got enough to go through some this afternoon or something if you'd like.
So come see y'all today. I can't today.
We can jump on Zoom if you're at home and not busy this afternoon. I'll be doing 30 minutes of cold calling.
Well, my air conditioner's been out for a little while, so I have a guy coming today to
All right.
fix that. It's hard when your house gets 96, 97
Oh my
degrees in it.
God. It always happens in the summer.
I mean, I
That's
live in a
horrible.
hot box right now, you know, in our fifth wheel for right now. So it's a hot box anyway. And when the air's out, it's been horrible. So today's going to be kind of, I don't know how today's going to go and how long it's all going to take and everything. When are you going to be doing it?
Just this afternoon. Here, I'm going to hit pause because you gave us your goal. So